When officers stepped into that quiet Georgia apartment, they expected a routine welfare check. But behind a simple white closet door, they found something that would stay with them forever. A discovery that would raise one haunting question. How could a little girl, just 7 years old, vanish in plain sight? And no one noticed? This is the story of a tragedy that revealed deep cracks in a system meant to protect children and the heartbreaking consequences of silence. The call came in on a regular Tuesday morning. Someone was concerned they hadn't seen the residents of a particular apartment in a while. It wasn't an unusual call, the kind of thing patrol officers handle every day. When they arrived, the apartment seemed normal. Lived in a bit messy maybe, but nothing immediately screamed danger. They announced themselves, knocked, but the silence inside was heavy. After getting permission to enter, they began their search. Room by room, everything seemed ordinary, till one officer approached a closet in the master bedroom. He reached for the handle, pulled the door open, and the ordinary day ended right there. Inside, they found a small mattress, and on that mattress was 7-year-old Olivia. But she wasn't sleeping. She was gone. The medical examiner would later determine she had been dead for months. Malnutrition, dehydration, a slow, lonely, and horrific end for a child who should have been playing outside, going to school, and feeling safe. Her father, Alkeem, was in the apartment. He told a story that made no sense, that Olivia was visiting her mother in another state. But the evidence in that closet told a different, much darker story. So, how did this happen? How does a child waste away inside her own home, with her father just feet away, and nobody knows? The investigation started to peel back the layers of Olivia's short, tragic life. Neighbors said they rarely saw her. Some didn't even know a child lived in the apartment. They described her father as a loner, quiet, someone who kept to himself. Olivia wasn't enrolled in school. She had no friends in the neighborhood. She was, for all intents and purposes, invisible. A ghost in her own life, long before her death. This wasn't just a failure of one person. It was a failure of a whole system. Records showed that the Department of Family and Children's Services, or DFCS, had been involved with Olivia's family before. There had been reports, concerns raised. But somehow, the case was closed. The system that was supposed to be a safety net had holes big enough for a little girl to fall right through. An internal review was launched, and what it found was heartbreaking. Caseworkers were overloaded, protocols weren't followed correctly, and crucial warning signs were missed. Each missed sign was a missed opportunity to save Olivia's life. It raises a tough question we all have to ask ourselves. Are we paying enough attention? Olivia's father was arrested and charged. He was the one who locked her away, who denied her food and water, who watched her fade away. But the community's grief was mixed with anger. Anger at a system that failed. Anger that a child could be so isolated in a world that's more connected than ever. Her story is not just a true crime case. It's a social alarm bell. It forces us to look at the children on our own streets, in our own apartment buildings. Are they okay? Do we even know their names? The silence surrounding Olivia's life was deafening. But her death created a sound that couldn't be ignored. It led to calls for reform within DFCS, for better training, more resources, and stricter oversight. But real change doesn't just happen on paper. It happens when communities decide that no child will ever be invisible again. It happens when a neighbor makes a call, when a family member insists on a visit, when a teacher asks why a student is absent. It happens when we refuse to let silence win. Olivia's story is a painful reminder that the most important safety net for a child is a government agency. It's the web of caring, observant people around them. We are all part of that net. Let her memory be a call to action. Pay attention. Speak up. Don't assume someone else is taking care of it, because sometimes a simple knock on a door, a single phone call, can be the difference between life and death. Thank you for watching. If you see signs of child abuse or neglect, please report it. Your call could save a life. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that matter.